Hamilton Mayor Fred Eisenberger joins us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello?
Hi, good morning.
Hi, how are you? We're going to get to the waterfront development in just a moment on West Harbour, but I have to ask you weekend developments on the encampment situation.
I'm not sure what developments you're talking about. We had a fire in J.C. Beamer Park. The tents were ablaze, and fortunately the police arrived in time to pull people out of the tents and save some lives. And then the work began, as it usually does, with municipal law enforcement and others to provide safe housing for these individuals. 6 of those individuals accepted safe housing in shelters or apartments, and 3 others decided they were going to find other accommodations. And so the work continues. These are unsafe locations for people to live. Unfortunately, there are propane tanks, hazards. Obviously, the fire was probably started as a result of cooking inside the tent. These are not safe locations for people to be living, and the municipal law enforcement are quite appropriately doing their work to try to find appropriate housing for all these individuals. So that work continues, and that will continue.
Okay, very complex issue there. I understand also as well today that there's going to be a trucking update on the trucking routes in the city.
Yeah, the truck route subcommittee is meeting. It's always a bit of a contentious issue in terms of where trucks do and don't go throughout our city. So there'll be, I'm sure, some consternation about where they might get access and where they might not. In the perfect world, we would have trucks not necessarily going through our residential neighborhoods or our downtown. But the reality is that there's certainly industries and others that need that connection. And so it's always going to be a challenge to try and find ways to minimize the impacts on local streets and local neighborhoods.
All right, now let's get to the waterfront. I was at West Harbour a couple of weeks ago. We noticed lots more developments down there, lots of construction work and beautiful things happening. How long is it going to take before people are actually living in this area?
Well, that'll likely be somewhere in the 3-year range. But I think the construction could start next year when the property is actually deeded to the company that's going to be building the condominium units, and that's going to start from the Guy Street on over working towards the waterfront. So I expect in the next year or so that the construction will begin. All the services are there. The roads are already in. You might have noticed the underground services are in, sewer and water. And we've got virtually the recreational part finished, which was part of the plan to do that first. Slowed down a little bit as a result of COVID, but we expect to have a grand opening of that recreational waterfront Water's Edge, the Cops Pier, sometime in early spring of next year. It'll be open this year, but the grand opening will be in the spring of 2022.
And already you can tell that there are lots of gathering places down there, right? Lots of pieces, lots of benches, and loungers even, I noticed. And it looks like it's already drawing people there.
It is indeed, always has. The waterfront has been an attraction for lots of people, since we started to open up access. So the accessibility now today, as compared to 25 or 30 years ago, is astounding. The whole area from HMCS Star all the way over to Coots Paradise is now virtually accessible waterfront enjoyable space, including some amenities. And more of those amenities are going to come with the development of the condominium. So there's commercial, retail, involved in there as well as residential units. And lots of people are enjoying the waterfront on a day-to-day basis, coming down to Williams Coffee Pub or just going for a walk along the promenade. All of it accessible, as I say, from HMCS Star all the way over to right into Coots Paradise. So that's a real positive. And certainly having additional residential units is going to bring even more people and make it a even more dynamic space.
Right. Is it only condos, or are there apartments as well, like rentals?
They're all condominiums, but 5% of them are required to be affordable housing, and Habitat for Humanity is going to be taking on that challenge to provide affordable housing units within the condominium. So there'll be they're going to be owned units, but they're going to be affordable for those that are having challenges in terms of getting into the housing market.
Okay, which is, again, a complex problem in Hamilton. Mayor Fred Eisenberger, thank you for joining us this morning.
Always a pleasure, Jeanette. Thank you. Have a great day.